bringing you a kid-friendly radio show. Every Saturday afternoon on YouTube. Broadcasting live at 1 o'clock. Broadcasting live at 1 o'clock. Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Brit Kids Show with me, Ethan. Coming up on today's show, an interesting interview with about going back to school. We will see if anyone can beat Libby and Tabby in the Leaderboard game, and yet another weekly watch list, and we'll be talking about going back to the cinema in a worldwide pandemic. Episode 2 of the Nether Survival Challenge came out last Saturday, so if you haven't checked that out, the link will be in the description below. And episode 3 will be out next Thursday, so please go and check that. So now it is time for an interview with Izzy about going back to school. Hello and welcome back to the show, Izzy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thanks. What about you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So you were actually back on the show back in episode 2. You were actually the first Leaderboard game contestant. But are you happy to be back on the show in episode 17 now?
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't feel like that long ago, does it? Since I was on.
It doesn't.
Mental that we're on episode 17. It's insane.
Okay, so we're going to start off with what you think about local lockdown. If you don't know, we live in the northeast, County Durham, and we went into local lockdown last week. That means we have a curfew on the pubs, but that already is now nationalised, and there has been a ban on mixing with other households, but from tomorrow, Wednesday, it will be illegal to mix with other households.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about the local lockdown?
When I found out about it, I wasn't worried at all, and it didn't really affect me very much because obviously I'm going to school and everything. And I was like, oh yeah, it's fine, it won't matter. But then I suddenly realised that I couldn't go out and like meet my friends or anything, and I was like, oh my gosh. So then I was like, oh, okay, at least I can still see some people. And then obviously it got banned on people coming in the house, and so now I'm more concerned about it. Now it's hitting a bit different, but I'm still grateful that I can go to school because it definitely takes the edge off it a bit. It's definitely different to when we first went into lockdown because I can see my friends and just sort of have that human contact, I guess.
Yeah. So, but now we have to wear masks in the corridors at school in the communal areas, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, at first I panicked because I thought that was in the classrooms as well.
I know, that would have been.
At least it's only the corridors. I think it's okay. Yeah.
So, we're going to, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about lockdown because I've not asked you any questions. So, but we'll start off with, did you do anything special for the summer holidays?
Summer holidays, I went out with my friends a lot because obviously we could meet up. So we kind of made up for that lost time. So I did a lot of that. I went on holiday to Scotland. So we did a few days in, I'm so sorry, I'm absolutely useless, but it was near the beach. It was on the coast in Scotland, near Edinburgh, in a nice caravan that we managed to find. And then we did 3 days in Edinburgh, which was lovely. Also, the 50% off eating, like we just went to all the restaurants and when we were away, it was unreal. Like,
oh yeah, did you plan out when you went to Edinburgh was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Well, actually, we didn't plan out like that, but we got really lucky, and it was like we did actually go to Edinburgh on those days. So yeah, we absolutely ate so much food.
So was that nice?
Yeah, it was really good. I absolutely love Edinburgh. I thought it was going to be a bit weirder because of the restrictions, but do you know what, it was fine, and I had a really, really good time. Yeah. Thank you.
So what was the best thing about being in lockdown?
The lockdown now?
No, the previous lockdown, the full lockdown.
Previous lockdown. Oh man, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to think back. I think the best thing was just being able to sort of, I feel like my family, we're very busy all the time. Every day we've got something different on, or work finishes at a different time, or we have to go to dance, or we have to go to football and stuff like that. And sort of gave us an opportunity to just kind of slow down. And obviously we're probably leaving home soon. I might be leaving in a few years, so it gave us an opportunity to sort of slow down, just be in each other's company without having to stress about where we've got to be, and just spend time with each other. I think that was probably the best outcome.
Yeah. So what was the worst thing about being in lockdown?
I think obviously just not, I know this is going to sound weird, because when I'm at school, I'm like, oh God, I don't like school. But not being at school, I just think that I found the schoolwork so difficult to do, just to motivate myself and just to do it. And I just found it so difficult. And at school, it's just so much easier. You know, you're there in the classroom, you just get on with it. And also you're just there with all your friends, you just have your routine. And I don't know, I just realised that I actually owe a lot to school. It keeps me sane, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much about school that you don't really realise until you go into lockdown or whatever. So I think that was probably the worst thing, just not being there. And also not being especially my grandparents, like stuff like that.
Yeah. So what was it like going back to school at the start of September for the first time since March? But you actually went back to school, was it in June?
Yeah, we went for 3 days before the summer holidays. Yeah.
Because you're year 11. So was there any different rules put in place then than when we actually went back earlier this month?
Yeah, so from what I've just said about school, obviously, like when we went back in September, it was just really good. I'm absolutely loving it at the minute. I think it's just made me appreciate it more, and I'm loving it. But however, in June it was so much more different. Like, not gonna lie to you, I didn't like it at all. Like, it was just like you go in, it was so strict. Like, you couldn't be near anybody. Really.
Oh, so
like,
it was social distance then?
Yeah. Yeah, and you walked in and we were in the big hall, so it wasn't like nice classrooms where you were really relaxed. We were in the big hall in little desks, all social distance from each other, and the teacher was on the stage, so it just wasn't personal. Everyone was really quiet as well, because it was a really weird environment, a really weird atmosphere. Nobody was near each other, so we were just sat in silence the whole time, and it was just very strange, and I didn't really enjoy it at all. I couldn't really speak to anybody. However, when we went back in September, I was very worried it was going to be that same environment, but it totally wasn't. In it just feels like it's back to normal now. I mean, yeah, it's just good, and it's just so good to see everyone just have the crack, and it's just great.
So what rules have they put in to prevent the spread of coronavirus?
Well, we're not allowed to see other year groups. I'm bubbled in my year group. That makes everything a lot easier. The teachers have to social distance from us, and now we have to wear masks as well. So we have our designated areas as well for lunchtime, and we have. They also have to quarantine our papers and tests and stuff.
Yeah, so they have to. Don't they have to do it for 72 hours before they can actually mark it?
It's really strange. It's like I did a test a few weeks ago, and I've only got it back yesterday, and I was like, oh God, I forgot I did this test, because it has been so long.
Yeah. So how do you feel having missed out a lot of school last year and going into year 11 and doing your GCSEs at the end of the school year? How do you feel? Do you feel still prepared? Or not as much as you would have been?
Yeah, I don't think
this happened.
I've ever sort of felt prepared for exams. But I think that's just a sort of nervous thing. However, I feel like when we've gone back to school, the teachers have been really good. They haven't gone I think they all know that many people did different amounts of work, and they haven't really mentioned it so much to be oh, if you haven't done any work, you're gonna fail, blah, blah, blah. They've all just said, right, we know you're all at different levels, and we're gonna get it sorted, and this is what we're gonna do. So at first I was like nervous because obviously I was like, I haven't done as much work as maybe I wanted to, but it's really okay. And it's not really a worry of mine anymore. I think there's not really, we don't have to, they're not giving us any paper or anything. It's like, catch up on this work. We're just sort of doing it in the moment, and we're just leading up to it now and focusing on the work we're doing now in class. So yeah, it's good. I owe the teachers for that, because it would have been a really stressful time.
Yeah. So I was gonna say something, but I can't remember what I said.
No.
No, it's completely gone over my head. But do you feel safe in school with your friends? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't think there's nothing that I feel worried about really at all. I mean, I'm worried that we're going to get sent home because of
Yeah.
Corona. That's the thing I'm worried about. But apart from that, yeah, I'm never going in worried about anything. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the cases rising in the Northeast and in the whole of the UK?
Yeah, like I said, I'm getting anxious that we're going to get sent home, because I just don't really want to be back at home doing work at home again. And then
No.
on top of all, last academic year, I was in year 10, so it wasn't as much pressure. But if it happens again, I'm in year 11 now, so I will have to do it, and I just think I'll struggle with it. So I am anxious about the whole school thing, but also anxious about, family members and stuff, and like grandparents.
Yeah.
And, we finally got to breathe, didn't we? Go, maybe it's just getting better now. Maybe it's kind of over a little bit, and then all of a sudden, it's back.
But you could see it coming as soon as people went out more. It was obviously going to happen, the cases to rise. Yeah. So thank you for being on the show today. It's been great.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Like, it's really good to be back on.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
So that was an amazing interview with Izzy. If you have a new skill that you have learnt in lockdown, or if you just want to get interviewed by me, email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com and type your email interviews. So now it is time for the weekly watch list. So this week's submission to the watch list to join Lost in Space, Current War, Alex Rider, Artemis Fowl and The Mandalorian is Tenet, available in cinemas across the UK. Yes, I went to the cinema to see this film. It is about a secret agent embarking on a dangerous time-bending mission to prevent the start of World War III. It is quite confusing, so if you like films that you can just sit back and watch, this one might not be for you. But if you like films that take some brain power, you will love this one. It is a really good film. Even though I didn't understand some bits, I still really liked it. I would give it maybe a 4 or a 5 out of 5, because I really enjoyed it. But that is all I'm going to tell you. So if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description down below to all the good cinemas it is showing at. If you have a TV show or film that you would like to nominate for the watch list, you can leave it in the comment section down below, or email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com and type your email, the weekly watch list. So, when I went to the View Cinema in Darlington to watch this, I felt really safe. There was about maybe 10 other people in the screen in the cinema. There was a lot of space for social distancing. We did have to wear a mask, but that doesn't really affect your experience. You don't have to wear a mask, obviously, when you're eating or drinking. So that was my experience, my little experience going back to the cinema in a worldwide pandemic with them new rules in place. So if you want to go, yeah, I felt safe. So if you want to go, go. So now it is time to see if anyone can beat Libby and Tabby in the leaderboard game.
The Leaderboard game.
Hello, Struan, and welcome to the Leaderboard game. How are you doing today?
Doing good, thank you.
Do you think you can beat our current top of the leaderboards, Tabby and Libby, with their score of 7?
I mean, I would like to say yes. Don't know how hard it is, so just gonna hope yes.
Okay, so let's get started with question 1. Amazon has just launched their cloud gaming service, but what is it called? Is it A, Amazon Game Stream, B, Amazon Luna, or C, Amazon Play Cloud? Your time starts now.
A?
You are incorrect. It was actually B, Amazon Luna. Okay, question 2. David Attenborough has broken an Instagram record, but what was it for? Was it A, the fastest growing nature related account, B, the oldest man to have an account, or C, the fastest account to 1 million followers? Your time starts now.
C?
You are correct. You've got 1 so far. Okay, question 3. A large majority of people in Wales are now in lockdown, but how much of the population is it exactly? Is it A, 2/3, B, 5/6, or C, 1/2? Your time starts now.
I mean, 1/2 seems a lot, but so does 5, 6. 2/3?
You are correct. You've got 2 so far. Okay, question 4. There will be Disney's first Black Tinkerbell in which live action remake of a film? Is it A, Tinkerbell, B, Tinkerbell 2, or C, Peter Pan? Your time starts now.
Peter Pan?
You are correct. You've got 3 so far. You're on a winning streak here, Strian. Okay. Question 5. What COVID-19 restriction is now a law in the northeast of England? Is it A, wear a mask in shops, B, the mixing of households, or C, going to the pub? Your time starts now.
Is it going to the pub that you can't go past 10? Is it C? Going to the pub?
You are incorrect. It was actually B, mixing with households.
Ah.
Okay. Question 6. The Google Pixel 5 will now sell at a cheaper price, but how much will it be? Is it A, $599, B, $299, or C, $850? Your time starts now.
$2.99 doesn't seem a lot, seeing as you can buy an iPad for more than that. $5.99. Might go $5.99.
You are correct. You've got 4 so far. Okay. Question 7. The PM's dad has been seen breaking what COVID rule? Is it A, having a party with 10 people, B, not self-isolating after testing positive, or C, not wearing a mask in a shop? Your time starts now.
Is it C?
You are correct. Okay, you've got 5 so far. Okay, if you get the next 2 right, you will have the same score of Tabby and Libby. But if you get the next 3 right, you will be at the top of the leaderboard, and only 2 more people could try and beat you. Okay, question 8. The BBC has reversed their decision to close which of their services? Is it A, BBC Radio 6, B, BBC Red Button, or C, BBC 3? Your time starts now.
I never even knew BBC Red Button existed. Neither did. They wouldn't close BBC Radio 3, probably. It's quite popular. Maybe Red Button? B?
You are correct. Okay, you've got 6. Okay, you need 1 more to to draw. Okay. Question 9. Michael Grove is heading to which European city to resume EU trade talks? Okay. Is it A, Amsterdam, B, London, or C, Brussels? Your time starts now.
What was the third one again, sorry?
Brussels.
C.
You are correct. You have got 7. Well done. You are now joined with Libby and Tabby. But if you get this next one right, you will be at the top of September's and October's leaderboard. Okay. Question 10. A Simpsons voice actor has been replaced this week, but for which character? Is it A, Carl Carlson, B, Homer Simpson, or C, Mr. Burns? Your time starts now.
I thought he wouldn't replace Homer unless he died. Mr. Burns, was it? Yeah, I'll go with that, Mr. Burns.
You are incorrect. Sadly, it was actually A, Carl Carlson. But you are now joined with Tabby and Libby. So if no one beats you in the next 2 weeks, you'll have to go against them in a quick fire question. One question with no other choices, and we'll see who can get there fast, the quickest, the first. So well done with your score. How do you feel?
I feel pretty happy. Thanks. I feel pretty happy, yeah.
Okay, thank you for being back on the show today. Okay, it's been great. Bye. So, Struan has now got 7 out of 10. That means he will join, he's joint first with Libby and Tabby. So if you want to try and beat Libby, Tabby and Struan in the next leaderboard game of September and October, email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com and type your email, the leaderboard game. So sadly, that is all we have time for this week. We'll be back in 2 weeks on the 17th of October with another leaderboard game of September and October, an interesting interview, and yet another weekly watch list. Please share this video with your friends and family to get them views up. Comment, like, listen to last week's episode if you haven't already. Listen to this show until the end. Email me and subscribe because we are so near 50 subscribers. We're 3 away, so please, if you haven't subscribed already, please do go and do that right now. And all of them other things really do still help me out. In the meantime, if you have any suggestions on how to make the show better, or about the Brit Kids Show Extra, or about the Brit Kids Gaming Show, or if you have a new skill you want to talk about, or if you have a TV show or film that you would like to nominate for the watch list, or if you want to have the chance to beat Libby, and Tabby and Struan in the next leaderboard game of September and October, comment below or email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com. So that is all we have time for this week. We'll be back in 2 weeks at the same time, but for now, goodbye. Bringing you a kid-friendly radio show every Saturday afternoon on YouTube, broadcasting live at 1 o'clock. Broadcasting live at 1 o'clock.